And we'll say good morning to you. Welcome. We are live at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City again on this Wednesday. Of course, Wednesdays mean Chick-Fil-A Day, and we are here. And kind of an interesting way to start the show, obviously. If you've not heard by now, we're going to take the first couple of minutes and dedicate this show to the passing of Dr. Billy Graham, who passed away this morning at the age of 99. Talked and spoke to more people, in front of more people than anybody else in the history of the human race. It's an incredible story. As you well know, he's been ill. His last time he spoke, as far as a crusade per se, was back in 2004. But again, it's just like a void, maybe. It is for me, kind of an empty spot, with mixed emotions, obviously. He's now in heaven. Can you imagine, again, being greeted by the Lord himself and saying, "Well done, my good and faithful servant"? Imagine the number of folks that have been impacted by Billy Graham over the years, and then the ripple effect, the people that have come to know the Lord through his crusades and through his television and radio ministries, and those folks have led other people to the Lord. I mean, it's unbelievable how many folks he's impacted. And in fact, I was getting ready to read here something that says maybe more than anybody, with the exception of the Apostle Paul, maybe more than the Apostle Paul and the Lord, well, not the Lord, but the Apostle Paul. So, incredible story. He's at peace now. When I was over the Cove back in January last month, I took a picture of what he said and blew it up and made a plaque out of it. I have it in my office at home. I'm going to read this to you. So, yes, I'm going to take a few minutes to start this sports show to dedicate it to Dr. Billy Graham. And that's just what I want to do. And so it's what I feel like I need to do. The verse of the day to get us started is, "Look up, your help comes from me, the maker of heaven and earth. I will not let your foot slip. I will watch over you day and night. I will keep you from harm, both now and forevermore." That's the verse of the day out of the book of Psalms 121, verses 1 through 8. And so this particular plaque, I don't know if you can be able to read it, but this plaque was on the wall at the Billy Graham Museum. And so I'm going to read it to you. "All that I have," let me start over, "all that I've been able to do, I owe to Jesus Christ. Any honors I have received, I accept with a sense of inadequacy and humility, and I reserve the right to hand all these someday to Christ," which he did this morning, "when I see him face to face, because I'm a servant, not a master. I'm the servant of the King of Kings." So he says, someday I'll hand everything over to him. He did it this morning when he passed away at the age of 99. When I see him face to face, I guarantee you, I can't guarantee you a lot in life, but I can guarantee you that he has already been embraced and said, "Well done, my good and faithful servant," and of course gets a chance to get reunited with his wife of 64 years, Ruth. So I'm going to read some of this, and we'll take a break and get into the sports show. But again, the Reverend Billy Graham, the Christian evangelist whose worldwide crusades and a role as advisor to decades of U.S. presidents, passed away this morning in Montreal at the age of 99. Been ill for a number of years, always listed in polls as one of the 10 most admired men in the world. Died from natural causes. So the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association puts his lifetime audience at nearly 215 million people in more than 185 countries and territories, with hundreds of millions more viewing him on television, film, webcast, listening to him on the radio. "My one purpose in life," Billy Graham says, "to help people find a personal relationship with God, which I believe comes through knowing Jesus Christ." That's the words from Dr. Graham. Again, born in 1918, raised on a dairy farm in Charlotte, North Carolina. At the age of 15, he made his personal commitment to Christ at a revival meeting in Charlotte. After attending Bob Jones College and the Florida Bible Institute, Billy Graham was ordained a Southern Baptist clergyman in 1939. 1943, he graduated from Wheaton College, where he met fellow student Ruth McHugh Bell, daughter of a medical missionary who had spent the first 17 years of her life in China. They married in August of 1943, 5 children, 19 grandchildren, and numerous great-grandchildren. Of course, his wife died back in 2007 after 64 years of marriage. Billy Graham vaulted to national prominence with his 1948 Los Angeles crusade, scheduled for 3 weeks, extended to 8 weeks. Unbelievable. Other crusades in various cities around the globe also lasted far longer than scheduled. In New York, he ran nightly for 4 months at Madison Square Garden back in 1957. In 1950, Billy Graham founded the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association based in Minneapolis, Minnesota, until it relocated to Charlotte in 2003. his weekly Hour of Decision radio program that I listened to every week when I was a kid, and published Decision magazine as well, producing television programs for Christian networks. Billy Graham wrote 33 books, including his autobiography, Just As I Am. In the 1960s, he opposed segregation, refusing to speak to segregated audiences. He says, "The ground of the foot of the cross is level," he once said. "It touches my heart when I see whites standing shoulder to shoulder with blacks at the cross." Folks, he just simplified it right there. Why can't we get along? The ground of the foot of the cross is level. Touches my heart when I see whites standing shoulder to shoulder with blacks at the foot of the cross. Anyway, we lose Dr. Billy Graham this morning. Our loss is heaven's gain. Billy Graham was noted for consulting and praying with every U.S. president from Dwight Eisenhower to Barack Obama. Also met President Truman in what was initially a contentious meeting after Graham spoke to the press, but the two men later viewed the episode as a humorous incident. He also, I think, President Trump met him as well. He had to go up to Montreat to meet him because of his health. So, anyway, let me read this one more time, what I do with it. All that I have, start over again, all that I've been able to do, I owe to Jesus Christ. Any honors I have received, I accept with a sense of inadequacy, and I don't even say it right, inadequacy and humility, and I reserve the right to hand all these someday to Christ, which he did again this morning, when I see him face to face, because I'm a servant, not a master. I'm the servant of the King of Kings. And so we lose, and like I said, it's kind of an empty spot for me. I don't know about for you, but I also understand he is, of course, where we all hopefully will be one day. Hope you will be, walking the streets of gold with Billy Graham and his wife, and everybody else has made a profession to the Lord Jesus. But still, you know, it's an empty spot, I think, for a lot of folks, because he impacted and touched so many lives in this world. So I'm going to do one more thing here, and then we're going to get on with the show. I was going to pull this up earlier, and let's see, let's get this. I meant to do this a while ago, but you probably can't see this, but I'm going to blow it up best I can. And I'm sure you can't see this, but when I went to Black Mountain, it was a privilege. Let me see if I can do this. I don't know if you can see his nameplate. And you can't, it's too splashed out. Anyway, that's his office. I had the privilege of standing in his office. Got the inside back door glimpse and got a chance to stand in the office of there's his plate. You can see it at the bottom. This is Dr. Graham. So I blew this picture up. I'll bring it tomorrow and show you as well. Very cool. So anyway, let's read a message here real quick. But so that's what's going on for today. And so we start our show with kind of heavy hearts, but again, a celebration also as well, because he is where we all need to be and hope to be one day. So again, as I've told you many times on the show, it is a sports show, yes, but the show belongs to the Lord, and I have my fingers in his belt loops just hanging on. And so my question will be again to you today, on this day that we lose Dr. Billy Graham, what are you going to do with Jesus? You're going to accept him or reject him, and if you don't do anything with him, then you've rejected him. And we all have to answer that question. We don't have to answer a lot of questions. We'll have to answer that question. What are you going to do with Jesus? Our show today coming up, we've got Danny Good, the athletic director at Daniel Boone High School, going to join us coming up in a little while. Greg Salyer, top of the hour, Major League Baseball update. Tanner Cook from the Johnson City Press going to join us, and also Zeb Kopus from Sprint's going to be here as well. All that coming up again here on the Tom Douglas Sports Show, show number 693. Be sure to like us and share us. We'd appreciate that. And we will, again, come in here and jump in and do a little basketball for you, do a basketball wrap-up. High school basketball last night. Of course, college top 25, busy night last night. Pros will crank back up tomorrow night, so we'll talk primarily college basketball. The Bucks had a chance to kind of seal their fate, and they did not. They still can win the conference, but lost a tough one last night. We'll tell you all about that. And so our basketball segment coming up right after you hear this from our good friend Ryan Presnell, the head baseball coach at Elizabethton, on 693 show, or show number 693 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. I'm with head baseball coach Ryan Presnell of the Elizabethton Cyclones. And, Coach, we're very excited, my friend. We're getting ready to double the coverage of Cyclone baseball this year. I'm very excited.
Yeah, I'm excited, too. I think it's a big step for our program. We really believe that getting out there what our kids do and letting the community know what we're doing and what we're up to is very important. The weather can be bad in the spring, and it doesn't matter to us if the weather's bad. We're going to play. We've played in snow. We don't really care about that. But watching baseball in the snow is pretty tough. So I think it's a really good opportunity for our fans to keep up with us. And really, we've got a lot of fans that live in different states. And I think you saw that from the coverage last year. People in all different parts of the country and in the world watching and listening to Cyclone baseball. So we're excited about the opportunity.
Absolutely. And, of course, it all starts March the 13th against Sullivan Central. We got some great games lined up. And, hey, this year we're taking out on the road doing some games, most of the games at Twin Stadium, but we are going to be on the road this year, some big conference games too.
Absolutely. You look early on, us at East, we battled last year with East, and a lot of the same players back on both sides of the field this year. So we're going to be battling with the East early on, and game at Happy Valley, obviously big in-county rivalry. That's also a conference tilt for us, and then going on the road down to Smoky Stadium. We're going to be playing Pigeon Forge in Jefferson County. Jefferson County goes to the state tournament last year in 3A. We actually beat them last year, which was big for us. And just trying to expand what we're doing here with the program, and this is a big part of it, and we appreciate you coming on board.
Oh, absolutely. Love it, love it, love it. And, of course, it takes sponsorship to make it go, to drive the bus, if you will. And so you've lined up some great sponsors. Tell us some of the folks that are going to be helping out with the broadcast this year.
We're going to be headlined by Chick-Fil-A. So they're going to be our headline sponsor for the season. Game night sponsors actually got Carter County Bank and Appalachian Community Federal Credit Union. Physical therapy services from here in town. Tri-Cities Health is a great little outfit over on the edge of town between Elizabethton and Johnson City. Just super folks. Blackburn Children's and Stegall over in Johnson City. And we've even got Elizabethton High School Fellowship of Christian Athletes is coming on board. We're really happy to partner with them. They do a lot of great things here in the community and in the school.
It all starts March 13th. Again, it's going to be the Sullivan Central Cougars, our first one. First pitch at 7 o'clock on March 13th. It'll be here before you know it. Coach, what's the phrase that pays? What are we supposed to say? Cyclone?
Cyclone pride. Something to live by, Tom.
Cyclone pride. Something to live by. We'll see you March 13th. Again, looking forward to bringing Cyclone baseball right here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show Facebook page. And it'll all get started on March the 13th. It'll be here before we know it. Can't wait. It'll be Elizabethton Baseball, brought to you by Chick-Fil-A of Elizabethton. Our buddy Tommy Tipton and the folks are our lead sponsor of Cyclone Baseball. Coming up March 13th, we'll open things up against the Sullivan Central Cougars. Hello to Brian Jennings. Hello to Bradley Purdy. He was an amazing, godly man. Unbelievable what Billy Graham did when he was awesome. While he was awesome, I saw him 3 times. He gave me chills with the spirit you felt on him. Absolutely. Hello to Renee McNeil and Jerry Keller as well. So, again, if you've missed it, and I don't know how you couldn't, but because it's all over the media, but Dr. Billy Graham passed away this morning at the age of 99, and we had the honor to stand in his office. You talking about giving cold chills? Goodness gracious, to stand in Dr. Billy Graham's office at the Cove in Black Mountain, North Carolina. Whew, lawsy mercy. Of course, that'd be a good time to selfishly plug this, and we'll get in our basketball segment. He's coming to town. His grandson coming April 27th, 28th, and 29th to Freedom Hall in Johnson City. Evangelist Will Graham with a celebration. And so I'm sure in his funeral services, I would assume that his grandson will be taking part in it. I would be shocked if he does not. We had the honor of having him on the show back on January the 22nd as well. So, again, a bittersweet day for me. Billy Graham's in heaven, walking the streets of gold, being told at this point, I'm sure, well done, my good and faithful servant. But leaves a huge void, I think, in this world when you have, I don't know if he's the most notable Christian, but when you think of Christianity and always on the 10 most admired people's list year in and year out, and you think of Christianity, most folks across the board would think of Dr. Billy Graham. So I think it's a huge void that we have lost in our world today. Let's take a look at basketball. Louisville's championship banner will have to come down. Yep. The Cardinals will have to vacate 123 wins between 2011 and 2015 seasons, including the 2013 national title and the 2012 Final Four appearance. That announced yesterday by the NCAA. Louisville also ordered to return money received through conference revenue sharing for its appearances in the 2012, 13, 14, and 15 NCAA tournament, which would be a huge check they're going to have to cut. It marks the first time in modern Division I men's basketball history that a championship has been vacated. Hello, Betty Perry. Hope you're having a great day. Again, I know she's a fan of Dr. Billy Graham, and so hello, Miss Betty, over in Elizabethton this morning. The hefty punishment stemmed from the school's escort case where a former sex worker revealed she and other women were used to entice prospects to play for Louisville. Further investigations revealed several student athletes played when they were ineligible to do so. Louisville interim president Greg Postel penned an open letter after the sanctions were handed down saying the NCAA is simply wrong. Okay, so Louisville has to get back the national championship. I don't even know who they beat, so I don't know. So I don't know how that works. Do they now say they're the national champion, the team they beat in 2013? I can't remember who they played, to be honest with you. I've slept since then. But anyway, they've got to return the money. And again, 123 wins. That changes all these records for all these teams for 4 years. So it is a big mess for the Louisville Cardinals, what they've caused here for the NCAA. So, but again, they see the first time in modern Division I men's basketball history that a championship has been vacated. The Louisville Cardinals have to give up the national championship, all those wins over 4 years, return the money, and vacate the wins and the national championship. Top 25 college basketball last night. All four ranked teams played one. Number 2, Michigan State, a 20-point win at home over Illinois, 81-61. Last night, 16th ranked Ohio State in Columbus runs their record of 23-7 with a 27-point victory over Rutgers, 79-52. Rhode Island, 18th ranked Rhode Island, now 22-4 with a 2-point win on the road in overtime at LaSalle. Almost lost that one. LaSalle's 11-17. That would have been a huge upset. And then 21st ranked West Virginia, the Mountaineers, back in the win column. They now go 20-8. They win on the road at Baylor by 11, 71-60. Today and tonight, huge night for basketball. Got really several good ones, including the Tennessee Volunteers at home against the Florida Gators. The Vols at 19-7, and the Florida Gators at 17-10. They'll tip that up at Thompson Bowling Arena tonight at 9 o'clock. That'll be nationally televised. Florida at 17-10, Tennessee at 19-7. Also tonight, 15th ranked Clemson at 20-6 in Blacksburg at Castle Coliseum to take on the Hokies of Virginia Tech. They're a 19-8 ball club. Also, 17th ranked Michigan tonight, 22-7. This is a trap game going into Penn State to battle the Nittany Lions, who are 19-10. That'll be a tough game for Michigan to win if they do it all. Other games tonight, 4th ranked Xavier will be at Georgetown. Top ranked Virginia, the Cavaliers at 24-2. They play host tonight to the Georgia Tech Ramblin' Wreck. 6th ranked Texas Tech, the Red Raiders tonight at Oklahoma State. 10th ranked North Carolina, the Tar Heels at Syracuse. Also tonight, you have 13th ranked Wichita State hosting Tulane. 3rd ranked Villanova will be at home to DePaul. It'll be 12th ranked Auburn, 23-4, hosting Alabama at 17-10. 5th ranked Duke tonight hosting the Louisville Cardinals. Duke at 22-5, Louisville at 18-9. They'll play that one in Durham. And again, 20th ranked Nevada at home tonight against San Jose State. Nevada at 23-5 on the season. Last night, a chance to really do damage and did not do it. They laid an egg. We're speaking of the Buccaneers of East Tennessee State losing last night to the Citadel Bulldogs, again at Freedom Hall in Johnson City. Again, let's read the accounting of this one in the Johnson City Press. Again, Santi Bradford out with an ankle injury. Citadel came into Freedom Hall, made 13 shots from three-point range, 84-82 win over the Bucs last night. Again, DeSanti Bradford out with an ankle injury, and the Bucs fell to 23-6 overall, 14-2 in the Southern Conference. Their lead in the conference shrunk to one game over UNC Greensboro, which beat Wofford on Tuesday. They will play again on Friday night, again at Freedom Hall, Johnson City, and try and win it out. And they can still win out if they win this game and on Friday night at home. And so we'll talk more about that coming up here in a little while. High school basketball, turn it out for you. First off, the polls are out this week. AAA basketball, Memphis East at number 1. AA basketball, boys, Memphis Hamilton number 1 of the state. And then single A, Douglas at number 1. No boys teams in Northeast Tennessee are in the rankings again this week, which is kind of a statement, I think, of boys basketball in Northeast Tennessee. AAA play, Riverdale is the number 1 team in the state. The Lady Trailblazers of Daniel Boone leapfrog over Morristown West. They're now 5th in the state. Morristown West goes to 6th in the state. In AA basketball, Upperman are number 1. South Green, the Lady Rebels, 4th in the state at 28-4. And then Single A, Summertown, the number 1 team in the state in girls high school basketball. As the polls are out this week, let's run down what happened last night around the region in high school basketball. And we'll start on the boys' side. Last night, District 1 Tournament Championship, North Green in double overtime beat the Sullivan North Golden Raiders 66-61. In the AA Tournament Consolation game, Elizabethton defeats the Happy Valley Warriors 52-47. In the championship, Unicoi County defeats Johnson County, the Barn Burner, 58-55. In the AA Consolation, Chucky Doak beat Greenville 68-63. Granger defeats South Green 61-54. So Elizabethton, for your Cyclone fans, we'll go down all of them in a minute, but Elizabethton will play at South Green on Saturday. Also last night, you have in Southwest Virginia, you have in the Region 1D quarterfinals, Eastside beat Holston 85-46. Twin Valley over Northwood by 17, 77-60. Chilhowie won last night, beating J.I. Burton 56-52. Honaker all over Rye Cove in boys play 83-49. And so that was last night. So here is the AAA for Saturday. Boys basketball, AAA. You have on Saturday, AAA basketball, Crockett at Morristown East. Sevier County here in Johnson City to take on Science Hill. Dobbins Minute hosting South Doyle. And Daniel Boone will go on the road at Jefferson County in the AAA Regional. In the AA Regional for boys action, you have coming up again, Greenville will be at Unicoi County on, that'll be Saturday. You have Chucky Doak at Johnson County. Elizabethton will be at Granger. And Happy Valley goes to, who did I say they won? Who did I say won last night? Happy Valley goes to Granger. Yep, and Elizabethton will go to South Green. And you have Greenville, Unicoi County, and Chucky Doak at Johnson County. That's right, in AA basketball coming up on Saturday for boys play. And then in the Single A quarterfinals on Saturday evening for boys basketball, Jellicoe at North Green. The Hampton Bulldogs play at Cosby. University High at Greenback. Hello Angel Depew. And also Hancock County at Sullivan North. That'll be on Saturday as well in the boys tournament play. Let's take a look at girls action from last night. All this in Virginia. The girls, I'll double check on that. The girls, nope, I'm wrong. The District 1 Tournament Championship, North Green's ladies beat Unaka 42-33. Last night, the Single A District Championship at Daniel Boone, North Green's Lady Huskies win at 42-33. All right, so you have last night on girls action in Virginia Region 1D. Eastside beat Holston 75-57. Chilhowie's ladies over Grundy by 3, 41-38. Patrick Henry's ladies defeat J.I. Burton 53-39. And Rye Cove's ladies win by 31 over Honaker 64-33. And the Region 2D quarterfinals, Virginia High defeats the Lady Blue Devils of Gate City 59-54. Ridgeview over Tazewell 63-39. Union's ladies beat Lebanon 47-33, beat them by 14. And Wise Central all over Marion by 40, 62-22. Girls action coming up on Friday night. Girls regional start on Friday night. AAA, Cherokee will be at Jeff County. Morristown East will be at Dobbins Minute. Sevier County at the number 1 seed Daniel Boone, and Science Hills ladies will be at Morristown West, and girls basketball on Friday night. Also, for the AA ladies, that's been set. Granger will be at Sullivan Central to battle the Lady Cougars. Sullivan South Lady Rebels travel to Chucky Doak. Sullivan East travels to South Green, and Unicoi County's Lady Blue Devils hosting Greenville in the AA Girls Regional. And then in the Single A Girls Regional on Friday night, Jellicoe's ladies at North Green, Cloudland at Greenback, the Hampton Lady Bulldogs will be at Cosby, and Unaca's Lady Rangers home to Washburn on Friday night. So that's what's going on in girls and guys high school basketball in both Tennessee and Virginia. Tom Taylor Sports Show, thanks for being with us. We'll take a quick break. We'll come right back, and we'll be joined by our buddy Danny Good. Danny Good, our buddy, the athletic director from Daniel Boone High School. Danny Good, athletic director, joins us coming up next on show number 693, live at Chick-Fil-A The Crossings in North Johnson City on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Danny Good.
Hello.
Hello, Danny Good. How you doing, buddy?
Doing fine. How are you?
I am fantastic, thank you. So, life good for you, I hope?
It is. Life
Good.
is good.
Life is good. All right. So, let's go to the phone. He's there. Let's go right in there and talk to him right now. The athletic director of Daniel Boone High School, our buddy Danny Good. And good morning, sir. How you doing?
Good morning. Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I thank you for being with us. And let's talk about it. Both your guys and your girls, the polls are out this week. The Lady Trailblazers move up a notch in the statewide polls, which is fantastic. And let's kind of set the table for regional play. Where are the boys going and where are the girls going in regional play?
Well, actually, we just now just got back to the meeting at Jefferson County with the regional meeting this morning. But our guys will be going to Jeff County Saturday night at 7, and our girls will be hosting Sevier County here at Boone Friday night.
And so both of these teams is pretty awesome. Anytime you get one team into the regional, but you have both the boys and the girls, it's a great testament to your basketball program at Daniel Boone with Coach Brown and of course, Coach Maines.
Yes, it has. It's been a good winter for us as far as basketball is concerned. Last 2 years, actually, but no, third year in a row we've been to both Central regions. So we're excited about that. We had a state champion wrestler again, with a three-time three-peat in Isabella Badon in the 119 class. So we've had a good winter so far in our sport.
Absolutely. And so the regional, again, once you win, if I get this right, when the girls win and the guys win on this opening round satellite game, then everything moves to Jeff County. Is that correct?
That is correct. That is correct. And unless everybody in District 1 wins, then it'll come back to possibly the David Cross, our host side here. So, that's a little twist that's in there. If all the district teams in District 1 win the first round games, then it could possibly move back to our district.
Well, that would be neat. So if we can sweep them, we bring them back up here to our place, or in our neck of the woods, if you will. So.
Exactly. But theoretically, let's set up the girls' winners from Friday night game will advance to play Monday at Jeff County, and the boys from Saturday will advance to play Tuesday.
What do you feel like the keys will be? I know you're not the coach, of course, but you're the athletic director. You've been around sports all your life. What do you think the keys will be for the boys to win and for the girls to win on this weekend's games?
Well, our girls just got to stay the course. We're very talented, very athletic group, and been very fortunate this year. I think they just stay the course. Friday night, they should be fine. The guys have got a little tougher test in going to Jeff County to play Jeff County on the home floor, and they've been the 2 seed out of District 2. So it's a very, very athletic team, but I think Coach Brown likes his team. He likes the way they're playing at this point, and we feel like we've got a good chance.
On the phone, we're talking to Danny Good, the athletic director at Daniel Boone High School here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Coaches, go ahead and do a tease because spring sports are obviously this great weather, getting a lot of practice time in for soccer and tennis and track and field, and also, of course, baseball and softball are the spring sports here in Tennessee. So kind of give us a preview of the spring sports for Daniel Boone.
Yeah, right now Coach Jefferson's got about a little over 70 kids out for the track program as we speak. It's participating. Soccer numbers are at 26, so things are going there. Coach Hoover, actually we had a scrimmage yesterday versus Sullivan East out here baseball at noon yesterday afternoon, and Coach Jenkins with the softball team had an inter-squad. So, and I'm standing outside talking to you, and can't believe how beautiful it is right now. It's really, weather is really fantastic as we speak for spring sports.
Absolutely. So, and of course, it won't be that far away. The Coach Jenkins will have spring football practice, so it just keeps on keeping on, but it really doesn't stop, does it?
No, sir, it doesn't. It just, it just rolls from one right into the other, and that's why we cherish that 2-week dead period as much as we do when it rolls around the 4th of July.
Absolutely. For folks that don't know, tell me how many sports you're in charge of at Daniel Boone High School.
Well, all 13 of them counting 12 counting cheerleading, 13, and then we got 5 middle schools that feed the high school as well. So got a pretty full schedule.
Yes, you do. And I know you're a busy man. I do appreciate your time. Congratulations what they've done so far, and let's hope they keep on winning at Daniel Boone and keep on keeping on. We'll talk to you soon, all right?
Thank you for allowing me to talk about our kids. Thank you.
You got it. Good man right there. Danny Good. Appreciate him very much. Again, the athletic director at Daniel Boone High School. We appreciate him very, very much. And, again, they are off and running. As we told you, the boys will be at Jeff County. The ladies hosting the Lady Smoky Bears of Sevier County. Again, that comes up, as we said. That'll be Friday night for the ladies and Saturday for the gentlemen. How about a quick timeout? We'll be right back. We got more to talk about. Major League Baseball at the top of the hour with our buddy Greg Salyer. We're not going to steal his thunder, but there's some movement. Hello to Jerry McNeil. Hello to Betty Perry. Hello to Brian Jenkins. Hello to Angel Depew. Hello to Bradley Purdy. Again, if you're out watching the show, be sure and like it and share it. We would appreciate that very much. It certainly helps the old cause when you share it with folks. We'll take a quick break. We'll come right back. We got some NASCAR, as a matter of fact. Up next, we got some hurt feelings in Daytona. Denny Hamlin and Bubba Wallace are still talking trash one to another about how things finish up the other night. And then Eric Amarola will talk about him and hear his quotes. And he just simply says, after losing the Daytona 500 as he did and how he did, he says, quote, "I'm heartbroken." We'll talk some NASCAR next year on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue. Do you like pulled pork? At Phil's, the pulled pork is cooked low and slow. We cook it all night, but we serve it fast. Our pulled pork is hickory smoked, tender and juicy. We serve the pork either as a sandwich on a bun or platter style with garlic toast. And don't forget to try our pork wings. They taste like a cross between ham and our sweet ribs. It comes as a meal, as an add-on, or part of our meat sampler platters. Pulled pork and pork wings. Just two great reasons to stop by Phil's Dream Pit. Eastern Star exit off I-26, 349-6437. Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Chick-Fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
We're back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us again on this Wednesday. We're live at Chick-Fil-A where the salads are flying out. I've been watching the cash register here when I get a chance, and they are flat moving the Cobb salads and the market salads here at Chick-fil-A. And so this is a good time to get that. Also, they have the hand-spun milkshakes and the frosted lemonades and the frosted coffee. We don't talk much about that, but they got the frosted coffee in the small and large. So a good way to cool down in as Danny Good said, it's a very unseasonably warm day here in the hills of East Tennessee, but we'll take it. It's great. And so I thought this was neat. Yesterday we got into a discussion, Jeremy Livesey and I, about folks who are afraid to be happy. So, and then I heard last night my buddy Mitzi said because they don't trust the future. They don't trust the God who created everything. Because I've already had people say, gosh, it's so warm in right now, but it's going to get bad in March. Well, we don't know that. So it's like, people are just, we are programmed to not enjoy the current. We are programmed to always be looking ahead, and I don't understand that. So I'm going to enjoy Wednesday, February the 21st to its fullest because we're not guaranteed tomorrow anyway. So anyway, let's take a look at golf. PGA Tour, we'll get into some NASCAR in just a second. PGA Tour is heading to Palm Beach Gardens starting tomorrow for the 2018 Honda Classic. Defending champion Ricky Fowler is the Vegas favorite, followed closely by Justin Thomas and Rory McIlroy. And so that starts tomorrow again in Palm Beach, Florida. The 2018 Honda Classic will be ready to go on the PGA Tour. National Hockey League last night. Let's run them down for you. Nashville skates past Detroit. The Predators now 36-14 on the year. They skate past Detroit 3-2 in Detroit. Other winners, Philadelphia 3-2 over Montreal. Tampa Bay gets the 40th win of the season. Their winningest team in the National Hockey League. The Lightning go into Washington and beat the Capitals 4-2. Capitals with 34 wins. So a good one last night. Toronto shuts out Florida in Toronto 1-0. Columbus goes on the road and beats New Jersey in Jersey 2-1. It was San Jose going into St. Louis and beating the Blues 3-2. LA skates past LA skates past Winnipeg 4-3. Boston, the Bruins on the ice at Edmonton 3-2 winner, and Colorado, the Avalanche goes into Vancouver and beats the Canucks 5-4 the final there. Tonight on the ice, you have a couple of good ones. Dallas at 34-21. The Stars in Anaheim to skate against the Ducks, who are 30-20. The second best record in the National Hockey League, the expansion Vegas Golden Knights hosting Calgary tonight. 39 wins for Vegas, 30 wins for Calgary. And then also tonight, Ottawa, the Senators skate in Chicago against the Blackhawks in the National Hockey League. College football news. The rich just keep getting richer. Alabama picks up assistant head coach and defensive line coach Greg Kulowski, leaving the Miami Hurricanes to coach the same position with Alabama, proving once and for all that even the Crimson Tide can catch a break from time to time. Miami announcing Monday that he was leaving the program to, quote, pursue other opportunities, and so he now becomes the defensive line coach, assistant head coach, defensive line coach for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Given Alabama's depth and talent of defensive line, this will be a major win and is a major win for the Tide and a nightmare for the SEC offensive line. So, again, this guy comes over from Miami. And so the Hurricanes led the FBS last season with 3.39 sacks per game, with the defensive line leading the way. Also, they improved dramatically in run defense under his watch. And so Greg, I've heard it pronounced a couple of different ways, but we're going to go with this one. Craig Kulowski, again, now leaving Miami and is now taking that same role at the University of Alabama. All right, NASCAR news. Oh, boy, NASCAR couldn't make it after one race into the season. They're having a little off-track drama. Had a little brush-up last Sunday in the pits after the race. At the end of Sunday's Daytona 500, Bubba Wallace and Denny Hamlin made contact as the two came to the finish line. Hamlin claims the contact initiated by Wallace blew his right front tire, resulting in his car pinching Wallace's car against the outside wall after the finish. Wallace and his team were upset with the contact after the runner-up finish. And it says, Wallace, quote, says, he's yelling on the team radio, "What's his problem? Y'all better hold me the beep back," added his spotter, Denny Hamlin. What an idiot. So Bubba Wallace, a little upset. Wallace also took a jab at Hamlin's comments that 70% of NASCAR drivers take Adderall in his interview with Fox Sports after the race. The two shared a heated discussion behind the pits after the race, and the drama carried over to yesterday, Hamlin explaining his stance on Twitter. So Denny says, I blew my right front tire out when he came down and side drafted me, so I didn't even have any control of my car because when he came down there, I was just on the yellow line, says Denny Hamlin. Nothing I could have done, and it blew my right front tire out with his fender. Wallace, who told his team, y'all better hold me back on the radio, did not agree with Hamlin's flat tire reasoning. Bubba Wallace says, if that happened, okay, so be it. But it just seems like he got off of me a little bit and then turned back into me. I know the cars drive crazy and whatnot, and they're a handful to handle, but just didn't seem like that right away. But it was tough to see from that angle anyways. Who knows and who cares? Woo! So the boys in NASCAR are heading off again to Atlanta this weekend for the racing action there. We got the entry sheets as we told you we would yesterday. Kyle Busch is not in the field for the Xfinity race in Atlanta, which means he'll be a new champion. He's won that event for the last 2 years after sitting on the pole and winning the race in the same year for 2 straight years. Kyle Busch not in the field for the Xfinity Series race on Saturday. Nor is Christopher Bell in the field for the truck race, which he won last year. And so we'll be looking for a new winner in the Xfinity Series race and a new winner, obviously, in the Truck Series, the Camping World Truck Series. So those 2 guys are not in the field for this week's racing in Atlanta. Of course, a year ago, we've told you Kevin Harvick sat on the pole, and Brad Keselowski won one of his 3 wins in 2017 at Atlanta Motor Speedway back again in the, it was then March race, and now it's the February race this year at Atlanta Motor Speedway on Sunday. So Keselowski will be back to, of course, defend his crown. And again, they will not be able to crown Kyle Busch and Christopher Bell because they are not going to be involved in the racing. In those particular sports, they're going to stay where they is and get ready for their racing in the fields they're now in. 53 days away. And for the Xfinity race, 52 days away. So you got a chance to get your tickets at all Food Cities, and here we go. Get your Bristol tickets for less at Food City. Again, the adult tickets for the Food City 500, again, 53 days away, will be a $50 ticket. Kids 12 and under get in for $10 at Bristol Motor Speedway when you get your tickets at the front office at any and all Food Cities. And, of course, right here you get 500 bonus points per ticket. That is 3 gas visits per ticket. So you buy a pair of tickets and you get 6 gas visits. And if you buy your tickets today and your gas visits, you can get double. You get 30 cents off. If you have 150 points accrued, you get 15 cents off normally on the gallon of gas at Food City. But on Wednesdays, you double your pledge and get 30 cents off. So tickets are on sale to all Food Cities, again, for the Food City 500. And for the Xfinity Series race on Saturday, April the 14th, you are obviously 1 day less. You're 52 days away from that. Those tickets are $30 for adults, and kids get in free on Saturday for 450 laps of racing. 300 in the Fitzgerald Glider Kits 300 that Eric Jones will be back to defend his crown. And Harrison Burton will be back for the Zombie Auto 150. They've added 25 more laps. And so those drivers will both be back on that Saturday. So 450 laps of racing for a $30 ticket for adults, and kids 12 and under get in free. You can't beat it. So those tickets also available at Food City. And also when you purchase your Xfinity Series race tickets on that Saturday, April the 14th, those two get you 500 bonus points per ticket. So it's really a no-brainer to get your tickets again at any and all Food Cities. And, of course, not there this week. Next Friday we'll be at Food City in Churchill. And this Friday we will step away from Food City this week, and we'll be on the road right around the corner at Freddy's here in North Johnson City. Tom Taylor Sports Show, thanks for being with us. We are live here again at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Coming up later on the top of the hour, Greg Sauger joins us with a Major League Baseball update. Lots of movement. The first full week of spring training now. Everybody's in camp, and pitchers are working out. Players are working out. I mean, it's full throttle now, pedal to the metal. And we'll be joined by Greg coming up at the top of the hour. Then later in the show, Tanner Cook joins us from the Johnson City Press talking high school basketball. And also coming up later on the show, we'll be joined with the big man, Zeb Kopas from Sprint. Tomorrow we'll be at Champion Chevrolet. As we said, on Friday we will be on the road at Freddy's here in North Johnson City. And then on Monday of next week, we'll take our traveling show to the lobby of the Bruton Smith Building at Bristol Motor Speedway. We'll be there hanging out with Drew Bedard and Landon Owen and the guys. We'll make sure I'm telling you right. Yep, we're going to be at BMS on Monday, broadcasting live there as we get ever so closer to racing at the world's last great Coliseum, Bristol Motor Speedway. So, in fact, Landon's going to join us on Friday talking about the ticket opportunities through Bristol Motor Speedway. So the excitement is building for the racing activity, and boy, a day like today, get you fired up for the spring race at Bristol Motor Speedway, or spring race us. 2 on Saturday, 450 laps on Saturday, and 500 laps on Sunday. So the weekend racing this year at Bristol, 950 laps of racing. Can't beat it. It's going to be exciting. Quick break. We'll be right back with more. We're live at Chick-Fil-A The Crossings in North Johnson City on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City is starting off 2018 with monster savings on over 350 new Chevrolets to choose from. Take advantage of these awesome savings for a limited time only. Silverado Crew and Double Cabs, $10,000 off MSRP. 17 Spark, $11,995. 18 Equinox, $19,995. 17 Traverse, $28,995. 17 Corvette, 20% off MSRP. Shop us online 24/7, and don't forget our Saturday parts and service hours. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
The savings continue in the month of February at Max Medicine in Kingsport. All natural factors 20% off. Folic acid, CoQ10, apple cider vinegar capsules, B12. They're all on sale. Anything natural factors, all 20% off the month of February at Max Medicine Mart. No coupons, no limits. It's a flat 20% off anytime you buy natural factors in February at Max Medicine Mart. Max Medicine Mart, Center Street, Kingsport. Natural factors 20% off in February. Make tracks to Max Medicine Mart.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. Let's clean up the sports desk here a little bit before we get ready for Greg Sire talking baseball here in a few minutes. Speaking of baseball, college baseball, Andy Canizero has resigned as Mississippi State's baseball coach effective immediately. Canizero, I've heard it both pronounced both ways, said in a university release that, quote, unfortunately made some poor decisions. I hope Mississippi State University and all the fans and people affected will one day forgive me. The nature of his poor decisions has not been specified. Athletic Director John Cohen said Gary Henderson will serve as interim head coach at Mississippi State. Henderson had been a pitching coach on his staff. He was Kentucky's head coach from 2009 through 2016. He was only in his second year on the job and had posted a 40-30 record. Mississippi State baseball went 40-27 last season, reached an NCAA Super Regional. Bulldogs opened this season by losing 3 straight games to their cross-state rival Southern Mississippi. So again, Andy Canizero has resigned effective immediately as the baseball coach at Mississippi State. College basketball, East Tennessee State's freshman Erica Haynes-Overton has won her second Southern Conference Women's Basketball Player of the Week award. The Bucks finished the week 2-0 after topping Wofford and Furman at home. They're now 17-10 overall and 10-2 in the Southern Conference. Haynes Overton again started the week with her third career double-double with 13 points and 10 boards in the win over Wofford. She's only 5'5", also recorded 7 steals, dished out 6 assists, and blocked a couple of shots. And then in the Furman contest, 19 points, 3 rebounds, and chipped in 2 steals, a block, and an assist. And so she was named the Southern Conference Women's Basketball Player of the Week for the second time this season. The freshman Erica Haynes Overton for East Tennessee State Lady Buccaneer basketball. College baseball, Milligan splits a pair of 7-5 games with Shawnee State University yesterday at Anglin Field using a 3-run 5th inning to break away in Game 1. The Buffs now 4-5, trailed 6-1 in Game 2. And so they win the first one 7-5, lose the second game by the same score, 7-5. Milligan baseball now 4-5 on the season. In golf, Tiger Woods can count on being at the Ryder Cup, at least as a vice captain. U.S. Captain Jim Furyk appointed Woods and Steve Stricker as vice captains on Tuesday. He had previously selected 2-time Captain Davis Love III to assist him. Woods has said he'd like to both play in the Ryder Cup and assist Furyk if such an opportunity arose. Woods playing in the Honda Classic starting tomorrow, his third PGA Tour event since returning from a 4th back surgery. And so the Ryder Cup matches are the last week of September outside of Paris, France. Also, Larry Abel, the basketball coach for the Lady Warriors at Happy Valley, stepping away, resigning yesterday, saying to spend more time with his family, so look for a coach to take his place immediately. So Larry Abel stepping away as the girls basketball coach at Happy Valley. So I would dare say you'll see some more of that happening as some of these coaches are wanting to spend more time at home. It's a tough job, as you know. The girls and guys, or any coach, not just girls and guys basketball coach, but any coaching requires a lot of time to be away from home. And so Coach Abel said, I want to be home with my family more. I got a wedding coming up. And so he wanted to, again, spend more time at home with his family, and I totally understand that. The all-district AAA, or rather AA boys team, the MVP from last night announced in the tournament was Trevor Hensley, Unicoi County. This kid can play. He is solid as a rock. Unicoi County, Troy Podvin, Brock Thompson, also the all-tournament team from Johnson County, Blake Atwood, Bud Eisenhower, and Jordan Eads King. From Elizabethton, Adam Cornett, Eric Wilson, and Evan Perkins made the all-tournament team, and Bryce Carter did likewise from Happy Valley. That was the boys all-tournament team from last night. And the single-A boys all-tournament team, the most valuable player, Elijah Smith from North Green. Also from North Green, Turner Bailey and Andy Stevens. From Sullivan North, Thomas Brown, Matt Burke, and Justin Cross. From University High all-tournament team, Caleb Meredith, Marshall Fleener. From Hampton, Hunter Davenport, and Drew Owens. For the ladies in single-A, the MVP was from North Green, Jacinth Crawford. Hope I'm saying it right. Jacinth. Jason Crawford. If I'm mispronouncing it, I'm sorry. Katie Bolton from North Green, Caitlin Franklin from North Green, from Unaka, Maya Parlier, and Lexi Garland and Sarah Tipton. From Hampton, all-tournament team, Kenzie Hill and Cheyenne Toole. And from Cloudland, Trinity Vines and Kenzie Birchfield. And so those are the all-tournament teams in single-A. And so that was good action last night in single-A boys and girls basketball. And so that's what's going on there. We also have for you, we told you the entry sheets. We run them down real quick for you. The driver's going to be in the NASCAR Cup Series this coming Sunday in Atlanta. Jeffrey Earnhardt, Jamie McMurray, Brad Keselowski, Austin Dillon, Kevin Harvick, Trevor Bayne, Chase Elliott, Eric Amarola, Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, Ty Dillon, Clint Boyer, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Kyle Busch, Daniel Suarez, Eric Jones, Paul Menard, Joey Logano, Greg Galding Jr., William Byron, Ryan Newman, Matt DiBenedetto, Michael McDowell, Chris Buescher, David Reagan, Kurt Busch, Kyle Larson, Darrell Wallace Jr., A.J. Allmendinger, Jimmy Johnson, Justin Marks, Corey LaJoy, Martin Truex Jr., Alex Bowman, and Casey Kane are the 36 drivers ready to roll off in Sunday's running in Atlanta Motor Speedway in the Cup Series. In the Xfinity Series, we got not quite 43 drivers. Got a couple of slots to be filled, but here are some of the drivers, all of the drivers going to be in the Xfinity Series. That'll be coming up on Saturday. Cole Custer, Garrett Smithley, Vinnie Miller, Elliott Sadler, Matt Tiff, Ty Dillon, Ross Chastain, Michael Annette, Justin Allgaier, Tommy Joe Martins, Tyler Reddick, Ryan Truex, Austin Cindric, Matt Mills, Ryan Reed, Kyle Benjamin, Brandon Jones, Christopher Bell, Daniel Hemrick, Joey Logano, Spencer Gallagher, Kaz Gralla, Dylan Lupton, Joey Gase, Alex, Jeff Green, Ryan Sigg, Chad Fincham from Knoxville, John Hunter Nemechek, Josh Balicki, Jeremy Clements, David Starr, Stephen Licht, Chase Briscoe, Timmy Hill, Mike Harmon, Spencer Boyd, B.J. McLeod, Morgan Shepard, Josh Williams. Morgan Shepard's in his 70s, 76 years old, I believe. And so J.J. Yealy and Kevin Harvick will be in the race coming up, the Xfinity Series and Atlanta Motor Speedway coming up again on Saturday. Then also the Camping World Truck Series. Let's run down that entry list for you as well. Austin Hill, Cody Coughlin, Jordan Anderson, Kyle Busch will be in the Truck Series. Norm Benning, although he didn't win it last year, Christopher Bell did. Norm Benning, Corbin Forrester, Joe Nemechek, Jennifer Jo Cobb, Myatt Snyder, Robbie Lyons, Brett Moffitt, Noah Gragson, Tyler Young, Johnny Sauter, Austin Self, Justin Haley, Dalton Sargent, Ben Rhodes, Justin Fontaine, who raced last year at Kingsport Speedway, Travis Quaffle, Spencer Davis, Mike Harmon, Parker Kligerman, Scott Stensel, Matt Crafton, Jesse Little, and Grant Enfinger are the drivers going to be in the racing coming up on the Truck Series race in Atlanta Motor Speedway coming up this weekend. Tom Taylor Sports Show, again, we're live here at Chick-Fil-A. Don't forget, tomorrow will be at Champion Chevrolet where they've got that massive inventory going on. Huge savings for the February model year closeout sale, Champion Chevrolet on the Bristol Motor Mile. The 17 Silverado 1500 crew and double cabs, $12,000 off MSRP. $12,000 off the 2017 Silverado 1500 crew and double cabs. Also, if you are interested in 2017 Corvette, they are 20% off the sticker. That is serious savings right there. The 2017 Traverses, $6,000 off MSRP. The 2017 Sparks, a few of these left, not many because they got to get them out of there. The Sparks are at $10,995. Also, the 18 Equinox, $4,000 off MSRP for the Equinox. And also you have, of course, the Champion offering Saturday parts and service and online at championjc.com, shopping 24/7. Champion Chevrolet, where Tim says, we leave you asking, how did they do that? How about that again? Champion Chevrolet will be there tomorrow, broadcasting live. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun there tomorrow at Champion Chevrolet. And then Friday we'll be at Freddy's here in North Johnson City. We go there once a month, and we'll be there broadcasting live on Friday at Freddy's in North Johnson City. Tom Taylor Sports Show. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back, and we'll check in with our buddy Greg Salyer talking Major League Baseball. He's scheduled to be with us next year on the Tom Taylor Sports Shows. We are live again at Chick-fil-A, the Crossing of North Johnson City. And as I say, he walks in. We'll be right back right after you hear this from our good friends at Phil's Dream Pit on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Back with my buddy Phil, Phil's Dream Pit again, the quest for perfect barbecue. And tell us about, big guy, tell us about the dream packs at Phil's Dream Pit.
So we offer these dream packs that we offer them in equal numbers. So like 4, 8, 12, 20, 24. We can do them as much as 100 people or more. We've had them go out for 300 people. But the dream packs it comes with the pork, the sauce, the buns, and 3 sides. So you could do like beans, potato salad, and coleslaw. The price ends up costing you a little under $7 a person, which is an unbelievable value around here.
Well, obviously, spring's right around the corner. You're looking at people on the move, going to ball games and Little League games and just being on the move. So this is a great way to come in and get a dream pack. And or if you got an event in the backyard, a cookout, or whatever you got going on, this is a great way to feed the gang, right?
It is. And another benefit of it is sometimes people are having rehearsal dinners and they'll have volunteers from their church that will serve. So this is a very inexpensive way to hold your costs down for your rehearsal dinner or your wedding. We do offer full service catering. The price goes up a little bit to have our whole crew out there, but you could do the value packs too and have folks from church serve it and cost you under $7 a person.
Let's squeeze in too before I let him go, meat by the pound. So again, another event coming up that you just want to come out here and buy this great meat by the pound, you do that as well.
I do. We offer the pulled chicken, we offer brisket by the pound, pork by the pound, chicken salad by the pound. The chicken salad, kind of give us a heads up if you're going to want 4 or 5 pounds of that, because we try not to make that much of it at once.
All this on the website.
And philsdreampit.com.
Yep.
It has our catering menu. It also has our in-house menu and the value packs, and just an awesome deal.
Oh, absolutely. And of course, they're physically located right off Interstate 26, the Eastern Star exit. So Phil's Dream Pit, philsdreampit.com. The quest for perfect barbecue, one of our great sponsors here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, we're live again here at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossing, the North Johnson City. We're joined by a guy who knows baseball. Oh, yeah. He walked in and said, whoo, there's a lot going on. Our buddy Greg Salyer. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Hey, Tom. I'm doing great. How are you?
Just fine, sir. I appreciate you coming by here as always. And I guess we'd have to, out of respect and honor, I started the show talking about him. We'll be talking about him all the time. We have been anyway, because Will's coming to town in a couple of months to preach his grandson. But Dr. Billy Graham crossed over.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, I told you off air, he's already been told by the Lord himself, well done, my good and faithful servant.
I'm sure he's heard that. Yeah. And, I was talking to my mom this morning. She said, I heard him say one time that going to heaven is just kind of like walking from your kitchen into your living room. And I said, I've never heard that before.
No.
She said, I heard Billy Graham say that one time. I said, well, he's done it. He's walked from the kitchen to the living room. Great guy. I got to meet him several years ago, back in the 90s, over at the Cove in Asheville, and just such a fine gentleman. So definitely will be missed.
I'll never forget watching him one time on Larry King. Just been several years ago, and Larry King said, your 2 biggest regrets in your life. He said, number 1, I have not done enough for the Lord. I thought, ruh-roh, I'm in trouble. I'm in big trouble. If Billy Graham thinks he hadn't done enough for the Lord, he spoke in front of more people than anybody else in the history of the human race, I'm in real trouble. And number 2, he said, I regret that Ruth had to raise my kids. I was never home.
Yeah.
So, thought that was pretty cool. But anyway, he passed away this morning at the age of 99, and he's in glory. He's one of those, the late Skip Carey, one of those Braves hit a long home run, Dale Murphy, long drive, he'd say, that is a no-doubter. Billy Graham in heaven, that's a no-doubter. He's there. And he is happy because he got reunited with his wife as well. So Dr. Billy Graham will have more to say about that, of course, tomorrow. They talk funeral services, and I would dare say Will be involved in the funeral, wouldn't you think? His grandson?
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don Wilton is his pastor from First Baptist Spartanburg, so imagine he'll be the one probably doing the service. But,
okay. How about that? Put that on your resume. I preached Billy Graham's funeral. Whoo, laws and mercy. That'd be a big deal. That make me nervous just thinking about it.
Dr. Wilton's a neat guy, but I'll tell you what, I was with him one weekend over at the Cove in Asheville, and he got summoned to their house. It was before Ruth passed away. And he said that when he went there, Billy said to him, he said, our health's not really good. We can't get out to church as much as we'd like to anymore. He said, so we watch you on television every Sunday. And he says, honey, go get my notebook. And he has a notebook full of notes from Dr. Wilton's sermons that he had been writing over the last months and years, I guess. And
were these questions or hang-ups?
He wanted to ask some questions.
That's like getting called to the principal's office. Billy Graham had a few questions.
He ended up joining that church as a member.
Wow.
And Don Wilton, I think, since then has made a trip up to visit him at least monthly, I believe. So,
wow. That's incredible. Yeah. It's a bad feeling when Billy Graham pulls out a notebook and says, I got a few questions here. So, ruh-roh. You told me getting called on the carpet. Woo.
I remember when he said that, everybody laughed, because we were all there to hear Dr. Wilton speak. And then he was telling us about this encounter he had during the afternoon in our evening session. And we were all just busted out in laughter, when he said that, because you just imagine.
We're talking to Greg Salyer, talking baseball as you see on the screen, so here we go. This is kind of the week we've been waiting on. A lot of activity since you were here last Wednesday, and take it away. Where do we start?
Yeah, well, spring training started, and everything went crazy with the free agents and trades and all those things. So we got to start off with J.D. Martinez, signed a 5-year deal with the Red Sox, 5 years, $110 million. Includes opt-outs after both the second and third years of the deal if he decides to do that. So, that's the team I said he was probably going to all along, and they finally got together, got the deal done. And, it's kind of interesting because now they got to ask the question, what do they do with Henley Ramirez? He can play first base, I guess, part of the time, but he can also DH, and that's probably where you're going to see J.D. Martinez more in the DH spot than anywhere. So look for the Red Sox maybe to make a trade. Who knows?
The outfield has Jackie Bradley. Who else is in the outfield?
Mookie Betts and Andrew Benintendi. So pretty solid outfield there. But he can Martinez will definitely be an outfield option for them, especially there in right field where you normally see Mookie Betts. So if he gets a day off, then you can see J.D. Martinez there. But I expect to see him more in the DH position than anywhere else.
Am I right? He had over 40 home runs last year?
He did. He hit 45 last year and just 432 at-bats, actually. So, pretty solid season there for J.D. Martinez. And hit a lot of those after going over to the Diamondbacks in a very short number of games. So, great signing, I think, for the Red Sox. They had to do something after the Yankees got Giancarlo Stanton, and this was their answer.
Bottom of the hour, we'll check in with Tanner Cook again from the John City Press. Also, Zeb Kopis coming from Sprint. They got some more deals going on in the tail end of February at Sprint, the Sprint store again on North Rhone Street here in Johnson City, right in front of Longhorn Steakhouse. Tim Tebow back in the news. What's going on with Tim?
Yeah, the Mets GM, Sandy Alderson, has come out on the record as saying that, he said, I think eventually Tim Tebow is going to be with us in the major leagues. So, that's good. That's a good thing. He was at Class A Columbia and at Class A Advanced St. Lucie last year. Hit 226 with 8 home runs in 126 games. But, he's definitely a class act, and he's a guy that I think that they are looking at as a legitimate prospect now. Now, they have a limited time because he's 30 years old. But, if he has a season that's at all productive, I think in Double-A this year, we can see him as a September call-up.
I'm not one of them. You're not either. But a lot of folks, particularly in the media, are banking on him not making it. They don't want to see him make it because of his stance as a Christian. I think they don't want to hear that. Yeah. They don't want to hear it. They don't like to hear it. And they're rooting against him not to make it for that reason.
Yeah, absolutely. There are some people like that for sure.
Yeah. So we're pulling for him. Yeah. Go Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
We want him to get up there and get a chance to use Major League Baseball as a platform to proclaim the gospel. Well, the Padres did it. Biggest deal in franchise history. Who'd they get and for how much?
Yeah, they got Eric Hosmer. He got his 8th year that he was wanting. He wanted 8 or 9 years. Most teams were offering 7. He got his 8th year, and it's $140 million for 8 years. So, the Padres pulled the trigger. So they've been wanting him all along. That means Will Myers will be going to the outfield, and Eric Hosmer will be playing first base for the Padres. Now, you might just ask the question, why would the Padres, a team who's probably not going to be competing for the division title or even the wild card this coming year, make such a big move? Well, I think they're excited about some of the young players they have. They have a great minor league system. They're ranked as one of the best minor league systems in all of baseball. So I think they're thinking long term here. They've got him for 8 years. Okay, we're not going to win this year. We may not even win next year, but maybe he's the first piece of our puzzle. We can go ahead and put him in place now and add the pieces when they are available to us, and maybe have a winning team maybe by 2020 or 2021.
Want to say hello to my buddy Gary Taylor watching. Again, we're going to get him on. We got Putt-Putt coming up here soon to help benefit St. Jude's Children's Hospital. So got to get Gary on the show and start promoting Putt-Putt, which we're looking forward to. You like Putt-Putt?
I do like Putt-Putt.
Are you good at Putt-Putt?
I'm decent.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm good, but I'm decent.
Yeah. You get out and hack them.
Yeah, I can hold my own with most folks. I have an occasional hole-in-one, and usually I don't go past 3, but sometimes,
Par 3.
I also have the occasional 5.
12.
Yeah. No, I pick it up after 5.
Yeah. Just forget it.
Yeah, if I can't get it in at
5,
yeah,
just move on.
yeah.
Next hole.
Oh, yeah.
You got it. So we'll be doing some putt boat to help out St. Jude's again, coming up twice this year, and we'll talk more about that a little bit later on in the show. All right, so we go from the Padres to the Twinkies. The Twins picked themselves up a guy from Tampa Bay. Who's that?
Yeah, they picked up Jake Odorizzi. They were needing starting pitching, and they saw a guy that they liked. Paul Molitor has watched him over the past few years and said he likes this guy. He's going to the American League Central from the American League East, and I think that's a very positive move for this pitcher. I think he's going to be even better there in the Central because he's not going to be facing the Yankees quite as much or the Red Sox quite as much. He's going to be facing the Royals and the Tigers and the White Sox this year more than anybody else. So, they also picked up Anibal Sanchez too for a 1 year, $2.5 million contract. So I think they've made some improvement to their pitching staff, and something that we were looking at the Twins to do, and it looks like that's what they've done now. So they may still be in on some of the free agents as well. I wouldn't think so after doing this, but there's still 3 pretty good starting pitchers out there as free agents that somebody's going to sign.
So I'm looking for an American League team this year. Is the Twinkies one of them? Should that be one I should consider following?
Yeah, I mean, I would.
I want to go against. I don't want the typical team. I mean, everybody likes the Yankees and the Red Sox and most teams.
If I was, I'm looking at an American League team this year too that I'm kind of excited about, and I'm going Angels. I don't usually go with a West Coast team at all.
Mm-hmm. They still got Big Albert.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Angels.
They got Trout. They got Zach Cozart. They got Ian Kinsler. They got Justin Upton. If they could pick up another pitcher, they could compete.
I might go with I like Big Albert. Big Albert hammers it.
Yeah.
Great Christian guy.
Yeah, good Christian.
Doesn't say much. Trout's a Christian too, isn't he?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I may go Angels.
And Zach Cozart is too. So good Tennessee boy too.
There you go. Hello, Kelly Essler, the swim coach at Milligan College. Hello, young lady. Hope you're having a great day. Appreciate her very much. We're talking Major League Baseball. If you missed it earlier today, we lose Dr. Billy Graham, passed away this morning at the age of 99. So it's all over the news. And you think they'll have the funeral at the Cove? You think when they'll have the funeral for Dr. Graham?
I don't know. It's a good question. He's going to be buried in Charlotte there at the library, Billy Graham Library.
The side roof.
So he's going to be buried there. I've seen the place where she's buried, and so his spot is right there beside her. So I'm not sure where they'll have the funeral. It could be at the Cove.
Mm-hmm.
So
we'll see. We'll let you know, of course, and I'm sure that's already been put into place. But again, Dr. Billy Graham passed away this morning at the age of 99. The Orioles and the Giants made some moves. See, we come in here for 3 or 4 weeks and we're twiddling our thumbs going, what are we going to do? Yeah. Nothing. And all of a sudden it's like boom, 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 boom. So the Giants and the Orioles have done something this week. What'd they do?
Yeah, the Giants went out and signed Tony Watson to a 2-year contract, somewhere between $7 and $9 million for those 2 years. I know Mark Melancon is really excited about that. They pitched together in Pittsburgh for a while as friends, and they're excited to be together again on a major league team. Tony Watson's a good pitcher. He's got good numbers. He pitched well for the Dodgers in the postseason last year. I saw him just absolutely fall apart in Cincinnati a few years ago when he was with Pittsburgh. But that's one game, and anybody can give up 5 runs in an inning, and that's what happened to him. But so it's not a bad move. I mean, he's a lefty. He's not necessarily a left-handed specialist out of the bullpen. He doesn't just face the left-handers. He'll face anybody. So not a bad move for the Giants. And then you mentioned the Orioles. They go out and get Andrew Kashner to a 2-year, $16 million deal that includes a $10 million vesting option for 2020. So it could end up being a 3-year deal with Andrew Kashner. They needed pitching. They also re-signed Chris Tillman. I got a notification on my phone about that just before I came over today. So that's 2 starting pitchers for the Orioles in just the last few days. So good move because that's something they definitely needed to do.
Also, we've got the White Sox or Red Sox?
Red Sox.
Red Sox picked up Nunez.
Yeah,
Wow.
And this was a re-signing because they traded for him at the trade deadline last year with the Giants and picked him up, and he did well. I mean, he hit 321 with 8 homers and 27 RBIs after coming over to the Red Sox last year at the end of July. So
they really are going after the evil empire, aren't they? They're going after the Yankees.
They are, and he is going to be. I mean, he's going to fill a role that you wouldn't think Eduardo Nunez would fill. He's going to be like a utility guy. I mean, he can play anywhere, but he's probably not going to start on that team. So he's going to be the utility guy. He's going to get the occasional start at different positions, and maybe a different way of playing for him. But I think he'll do well. I think he'll fill that role well for them.
Talking to Greg Sider, talking Major League Baseball. Tanner Cook joins us coming up in a few minutes. He's ready to go. He's chomping, talking a little high school basketball, whatever else he's got on his mind. I saw we talking about the Angels. The Angels just conveniently lowered the fence out in the outfield for a guy named Otani. So Angels Stadium of Anaheim will likely see an increase in home runs to right center this coming season. Yesterday, the Angels announced the right center wall will be lowered 10 feet from 18 feet down to 8 feet before the season begins. Obviously, lowering the wall by 10 feet will lead to more fly balls and home runs flying out of the ballpark, rather. And so that's one of the reasons for Shohei Otani is there. And, of course, he swings lefty. He hit 30 home runs last year and 525 at-bats in Japan. So they are hoping. They just conveniently said, gosh, Greg, I think we probably need to lower the wall out there for no apparent reason except the fact that the guy's on the team now. So a little obvious.
Yeah.
But they can do that, I guess.
They can do that. And,
sure.
And, the interesting thing is nobody's going to rob a home run on an 18-foot wall. But,
no.
We might see some of those getting robbed out there as well now with an 8-foot wall. So I'm anxious to see what Mike Trout does out there in left. It's right center. It'll be right center.
Right center, yep.
Yeah.
All right, then you've got Jake Arrieta. He's still out there. It looks like the Phillies are stepping up. They're showing a lot of interest now. What's going on with that?
The Phillies are reaching out. I mean, they're making their move. They have gone out and picked up Carlos Santana this year. So they've got some exciting young players. They really don't have a lot of players that are signed long term, so they have a lot of flexibility. And they're reaching out to Jake Arrieta. I mean, I think it would be a good move for the Phillies, I believe. He originally came up with Baltimore, so that's not that far away. And, so they're in talks. We know that for sure. They're talking. I still think that the Brewers are in on Jake Arrieta as well. We haven't heard much about it, but don't be surprised if it's not the Phillies, if it's the Brewers.
Really?
Yeah.
There you go. And then also last night, the Diamondbacks and the Yankees and the Rays got into a 3-team swap. What's going on with that?
Yeah, interesting trade that they made there. The Diamondbacks got Steven Souza and Taylor Widener. The Diamondbacks also picked up Jared Dyson this week too. So another outfielder that they pick up. So it was kind of interesting. Right after the Red Sox announced the signing of J.D. Martinez, the Diamondbacks announced their signing of Jared Dyson. So I guess if they couldn't get J.D. Martinez, they got a J.D. and Jared Dyson anyway. And, so they go out and get a guy that, that they said they'd been looking at anyway, and obviously they'd already been in conversations with because it was almost immediate. But yeah, this gives the Diamondbacks an interesting outfield. Now 5 outfielders for 3 spots. So it'll be interesting to find out what they do. And then, the Yankees picking up Brandon Drury, an infielder that they can probably use. And, they might give him some looks at third base because third base is still open for the Yankees this year.
Then you look at, of course, the obvious, our regional teams. Have the Reds or Braves done anything this week? I haven't heard anything about either team.
No big moves, I don't think, for either of those. I'm still looking for the Braves to still be in on Mike Moustakas. I really am. I'm still thinking that maybe they could pull that off. And I'll be honest with you. With the Braves may be better than everybody thinks they're going to be this year. With Ronald Acuna, we'll see what happens with him. I think he's going to definitely be on the team. Number 1 prospect in baseball. So you got the number 1 prospect in baseball. that's probably going to be if not making your team out of spring training, being there soon after, as we saw with Chris Bryant a few years ago, to save that extra year of eligibility, of control there for the team, I guess I should say. I look for the Braves to do something. If they could pick up a bat like Moustakas, I think they would be making a good move and maybe making some waves in the National League East.
Last thing before I let him go, again, we've got Tanner Cook waiting in the wings. Also, we got Zeb Copas coming from Sprint. They got those deals still going on in Sprint. So we'll have him in here coming up in a few minutes. But Commissioner Rob Manfred, man, he is just bent on speeding this game up. And I don't know. To me, I talked about this yesterday on the show. I think he's taking away, I don't know if the integrity is the right word, or quality of play, or I'm not sure what the adjective is, but I think he's tinkering something doesn't really need to be tinkered a whole lot with. But he and the Major League Baseball Players Association have agreed. There are some things that are going to be implemented beginning in spring training to speed the game up. What's it going to be?
Yeah, I'm with you, Tom. I really don't see this as big an issue as what he thinks. I think maybe the younger fans maybe feel differently about that than you and I do. They're maybe not as traditionalist as we are about the game, but the first thing they're doing is mound visits are limited to 6 per team per 9 innings. And when you say a mound visit, that doesn't just mean the manager or the pitching coach. We're talking about pretty much anybody going to the mound. And there's some exceptions to that, and they've got a lot of things that they're looking at. For example, if the catcher gets crossed up, do they call that one of the 6 visits? And that's up to the umpire's discretion as to what he can do there. If the catcher says, "Hey, I just got crossed up, I need to talk to my pitcher."
Talking about signals.
Yeah, our signals are not meshing.
This is supposed to be a fastball and it's a curveball. Wait a minute, time out. I go out and talk to him. So that's a visit.
Yeah. So the umpire at his discretion can say whether or not, this is a visit or not, for things like that. But even like if an infielder comes in to talk to the pitcher, that can be considered a visit. So, they're trying to do something, and I understand what they're trying to do. But, now the other one I don't have as much of a problem with is the between inning breaks. They're looking at different time frames depending on the television package that the game happens to be on. But, at the 25-second mark, the umpire's going to say, okay, this is your last warm-up pitch to the pitcher. The pitcher's not guaranteed 8 warm-up pitches between innings anymore.
I wonder what the number was yesterday.
Yeah,
it's 8?
It's 8.
I thought it was 6. Okay.
Yeah, so they're not guaranteed that anymore. So that's kind of interesting. The pitchers have to get kind of used to that, I guess. But, but at 20 seconds, he's gonna tell the batter, get in the batter's box. And when it comes down to about 5 seconds on that clock, he's going to instruct the pitcher to throw a pitch.
See, I think all this comes back on the umpire, and I think they got enough to do to try and watch these games. And the greatest baseball players in the world, they got enough on their plate, no pun intended. Now they got to keep a clock and keep. So I think it just adds more stress to the umpires and more responsibility that they've got enough already. I think. Excuse me. The one part I do agree with is sometimes it seems like it takes forever just to make them out of the bullpen.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, here comes old Tom. And old Greg just lumbering along. So, I do agree with that. Speeding up, get them out of the bullpen and get them into the field. And they get how many warm-up toss? They get 8 pitches too?
Well,
theoretically?
Generally. Yeah. But here's the thing. Yeah, they are going to time that now too.
I know.
And you may see some guys. Remember Heath Bell? Used to
sprint,
yep. And then slide into the pitcher's mound.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we may be seeing more of that going on. I've even heard some teams talking about bringing back the carts.
Golf carts?
Yeah, the bullpen cart.
What is it? See, I don't, unless you're out there doing wheelies or doing donuts or ripping the ground up, go out, unload the guy, running back. That's a great chance to put a marketing on the golf carts and make them, they can sell that to somebody.
Yeah.
The Chick-Fil-A bullpen cart or something. So I get that, but I do see that part being sped up. But some of this other, I'm like, anyway.
We might be telling our age of liking those.
We're just old codgers.
That was, I was a kid when they had those things.
What?
That was in the 70s.
The carts?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They were
long time
gone
ago.
Before the 80s.
Yeah, so. You got it. Hey, great report, man. What do you want to leave us with?
Thanks. Great. We were going to talk about the
Central.
National League Central. We'll do it next week. We'll break that down a little bit. But,
Bradley says, "Go Braves! They might win 40 games this year." So there you go. They might win 40.
I have a feeling the Braves will win more than 40 games. I would imagine they will be above that mark.
I'm going to read this before you take off.
Okay.
This is from Billy Graham. This is Mother on the Cove. I think this is really cool because today he's done this. It says, "All that I've been able to do, I owe to Jesus Christ. Any honors I've received, I accept with a sense of inadequacy." Never do say that right. Thank you. And humility. And I reserve the right to hand all these someday to Christ when I see him face to face, which he did today, because I'm a servant, not a master. I'm the servant of the King of Kings, Billy Graham. That's on the wall. And so I took a picture of it and blew it up, and I got it on my wall in my office because I thought that is really cool right there. Really cool. That is very cool from Dr. Billy Graham. So anyway, Bradley Purdy says, takes 4 hours for 9 innings and 3 for 500 laps at Bristol. Unbelievable. That's a good point. 4 hours for 9-inning game and 3 hours for 500 laps at Bristol. Yeah. Good point, Bradley Purdy, out in Cleveland, Texas, watching the show. So anyway, are we wrapped up? And between now and next week, when do they start actually playing games? Pretty soon? This Friday?
Yeah, this Friday.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I will have the MLB Network going Friday.
It's pretty cool. We're in the process because we do a segment every Saturday night on 700 in Cincinnati with the American Trucking Network on NASCAR. And so I have asked, and it looks like it's going to happen on a limited basis, either getting Marty Brenneman, the voice of the Reds, or the Cowboy Jeff Brantley to call and be on the show on occasion. So, which I'm kind of jacked up about that because to me, Marty is the consummate announcer, and so Hall of Famer, and this one belongs to the Reds. So, so I'm looking forward to having, and I don't. It may be once this season, but once is better than nothing. So if I can get him on for 3 or 4 minutes, it's going to be cool. So
I thought you were getting ready to say maybe once this season we hear him say that.
Yeah.
I hope I hear him say it at least once a week.
I have 162 games once a week. That's about 40 wins 40 like
days,
Bradley Purdy's did too for the Redlegs.
Yeah.
You hungry?
I am.
You get you something to eat, my friend.
Yes, sir.
He's a good man right there. We'll have him back next week.
I'll be here.
I never know when you're on vacation. You're going to be out of town or whatever.
I think I'll be here next week.
Awesome. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll go from baseball to whatever Tanner Cook wants to talk about. Waiting in the wings. Here's we're live. What's it say? Tell Greg he does an awesome job. Greg, you do an awesome job.
Thank you.
Bradley, thank you.
Thanks, Bradley.
So, thank you, Bradley. He does do an awesome job. Take a break. We'll be right back. Another guy does an awesome job is old TC. He joins us next here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here are the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance. We follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Chick-Fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
Back with the Tom Douglas Sports Show. Look at him right here. Look at a handsome rascal. Tanner Cook of the Johnson City Press. Good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How about you, Tom?
I'm doing fantastic. Saw him at the AA tournament last week, and I said, Tanner, it's time. He says, yes, it is, Tom. I'm hungry. So he wanted to come talk, and I'm glad he is, and we're going to feed him after this at some great Chick-fil-A food. So Greg does an awesome job with this segment, so follow up. You're a big Yankees fan, so what was your reaction when you heard that the dreaded rival, the Boston Red Sox, signed J.D. Martinez?
Well, Martinez is a really good player, but the Sox are probably going to compete anyway in the AL East. They just added another bat, pretty much. I don't think it'll really affect how the Yankees do. I mean, they've already got 3 big bats right there, 4 big bats, especially with Greg Bird coming in, and heck, even 5 now with Gleyber Torres going to come in at third base there. It's going to be obviously Giancarlo Stanton, Judge, Sanchez, and then you throw in Gleyber Torres and Greg Bird. It's going to be a mess. It's going to be a great lineup for the Yankees. But I mean, they'll probably be in a really tight race with Boston. It'll be a really good race the entire season from start to finish.
We're talking to our buddy Tanner Cook, who writes for the Johnson City Press sports writer. So you also, when we went to the break, you and Greg got into a discussion over Jake Arrieta. You don't see it, the fact that he may go to the Phillies.
No, I really don't. I mean, he's a National League pitcher, and he likes to bat. I've noticed that about him, and I can see him going west. I don't see him coming to a market like Philadelphia, because for him there's really no incentive. Philadelphia is not going to be that good. Their pitching staff is going to be solid, but they have no bats to help him out. He's used to winning with the Cubs. He's already tasted that championship ring. I can see him going west to a contender, but I still see him staying in the National League.
Before we switch to basketball, we got lots to talk about in the high school coverage. And you guys do a great job, you and Jeff and Doug and yourself and Joe, covering basketball for the Johnson City Press. Before we get into that, off the top of your head, give me what you think are the 3, as they are right now, heading into spring training games starting Friday. Who's your top 3 teams in the National League right now, and the top 3 teams in the American League as we start exhibition play?
National League will start. You got to go with the defending National League champions, the LA Dodgers.
Okay.
Number 2, probably Milwaukee at this point.
Okay.
I'd say the Brewers are going to do really well this season, and I'm not just saying that for Joe. And number 3, it's probably going to be a really tough bet but I'm going to say the Cubs are probably
Cubs?
the third best.
All right, then the 3 dogs in the National League. Who's going to be the 3 bottom feeders?
Oh, gosh. Well, for one thing, Miami has got this by far. San Diego maybe not as good as advertised, and I couldn't even tell you another bad team. In the Central, probably that Central's actually pretty good now that I think about it. I really can't give you a third one. It's going to be really tight. If I were to say another bad team in the National League, I'd go with Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm. See, I think the Pirates, because they unloaded all those guys with McCutcheon and Garrett Cole.
I don't think the Pirates are going to be that bad off. I really don't. Their farm system's pretty good.
What about the Reds?
They'll be about middle of the pack. I think they'll be okay.
All right. What's pleasing to Greg over here, because he's a big Reds guy. Okay, top 3 in the American League.
Well,
Astros.
The defending World Series champions, you got to go with the Astros. And then you're going to go with the 2 usual suspects. Well, actually, you probably won't go with Boston now. I'm going to go with Cleveland. Number 2.
Mm-hmm. I would agree.
Because, I mean, you still got Corey Kluber, and you still got a great lineup there. And at number 3, just because they're still so young, is New York.
We're talking to Tanner Cook. We're talking sports. We are live again at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City tomorrow. Champion Chevrolet. Friday we'll be at Freddy's in North Johnson City, right there in front of Food City. And then we'll back with Food City next Friday. We'll be in Churchill. And then Monday we'll be in the lobby of the Bruton Smith Building. We'll be inside of 50 Days to Go racing at the world's last great Coliseum at Bristol Motor Speedway for the Food City 500. So we'll be there on Monday. Broadcasting live the show from Bristol Motor Speedway. All right, high school basketball. You were at the AA tournament. You've been all over the place.
Yeah.
So what's your take on the high school basketball terms? Now the districts are done. We're heading to the regionals. What do you think?
Well, I haven't really been in Tennessee all that much this week. I've been in Virginia helping out the Times News. Been over at Big Stone Gap and Wise. But from what I've seen from Tennessee, the Boone girls got a really, really bad situation. They play an easy first round game. I forget who they play.
Sevier County.
They play Sevier County. Okay, they play Sevier County in that first round, but then they get the winner of Morristown West and Science Hill, and either of those teams could give Boone a lot of trouble, especially West. Boone only beat the Morristown girls by like a point or 2 in the regular season. Morristown was a really good team throughout the season. Jefferson County, I think, just got lucky and beat them in the district finals. But if Boone can get past one of those 2 teams, then it's pretty much going to be a cakewalk from them.
Here's your AAAs against Sevier County at Daniel Boone on Friday night. Science Hill's ladies go to Morristown West. Jefferson County's ladies hosting Cherokee, and then Dobbins Minute hosting Morristown East. And, of course, all 4 of those winners will move into Jefferson County unless I had Danny Good on the show earlier today, the athletic director at Daniel Boone, just came back from the meeting in Jeff County. And if, I don't know if it'll happen or not, but if by a fluke, or wouldn't be a fluke, that all the District 1 teams win that opening round game, guys or girls, then it will shift back up to Crockett.
Yeah.
So, which I thought was interesting. So we'll see what happens. But that's the AAA girls. The AA girls tournament looks like this. You've got Friday night Granger at Sullivan Central. You've got Sullivan South traveling to Chucky Dope. You've got Sullivan East ladies traveling to South Green, which is the number 4 ranked team in the state in AA, and Greenville's Lady Green Devils in Irvine to battle the Unicoi County Lady Blue Devils. So how do you see the AA girls regional?
South Green's got it. It's a cakewalk for them. The only team that I can really see giving them a challenge is, again, from that district. Probably, I think it's Chucky Dope probably has a pretty good chance. Read those games off to me again. Central's pretty good. I've seen them play a couple times. They're just scrappy. And then Unicoi getting there. They just had a couple of bad games in a row here. Really, the only other team I see that could give South Green a chance is Chucky Dope.
And they'll take on Sullivan South on Friday night. Again, the opening round of the regional. Same scenario. If they all win, then they'll all be coming back up to Elizabeth. And if they would happen to if they don't all win, then they'll be playing at Chucky Doak next week for the AA Regional. Single A girls, Jellicoe at North Green, Cloudland at Greenback, Hampton's Lady Bulldogs at Cosby, and Unaka hosting Washburn. Who do you like there?
Well, North Green's won the district in one single A, and they're pretty good. I saw them only once this year. I did not see Unaka this year. One of the rare teams I didn't see this year in the smalls division. And Cloudland's good, but they've hit kind of a bad stretch here lately. Greenback's not an easy game. Hampton's just hit a really bad stretch here. They should not have lost. They were heavily favored in that 1A. But I think it'll be a really competitive tournament in 1A. But I can see North Green coming out.
In the AAA boys, it'll be on Saturday. You've got Dobbins Minute hosting South Doyle. Daniel Boone travels to Jeff County. Crockett travels to Morristown East. And Science Hill's hosting the Smoky Bears of Sevier County. What do you think about those games?
Morristown East, I would say, is probably the best team in that region. DB's pretty good. Science Hill obviously is pretty good. Those two teams played 3 classic games this year. It's probably going to come down to the winner of probably either Science Hill or Dobbins Meadow will probably win, but the dark horse in the AAA is more than likely Morristown East. I saw them once, and they were very impressive.
In AA quarterfinals, the boys, Greenville will be at Unicoi County on Saturday. Chucky Doak goes to Johnson County. Elizabethton travels to Granger. And then Happy Valley will be at South Green. So that'll be an interesting regional as well.
Yeah, that's a real toss-up of a region. There's not really one dominant team in that region. Unicoi has had some troubles along the way. Johnson County's getting some really good games. If there's one team that's going to come out on top, I would almost say Unicoi, but it's just going to be a really close matchup, whoever they play.
We're going to get his take on Major League Baseball speeding up the game here in just a second, but I do want to ask him about the Single A boys quarterfinals. Jellicoe will be at North Green, the Hampton Bulldogs at Cosby, University High at Greenback, and Sullivan North hosting Hancock County. Single A's will play, everybody plays at 7 o'clock for travel purposes, so who do you like in that Single A regional for the boys?
You know, I saw Sullivan North a couple of weeks ago when they played Providence, and they looked pretty good. And they nearly beat North Green the other night in that district final. Went to double overtime. You know, I'm going to put the dark horse on and say Sullivan North's going to come out of that region.
There you go. There's our man, Tanner Cook of the Johnson City Press. So you've been over in Southwest Virginia. I haven't been over there this year. Who's the power besides the obvious Gate City and Mike McClung? Who else is strong over there in boys and girls play?
Wise Central is probably the best team in Southwest Virginia for girls. They only lost a couple of games all season. But Ridgeview did beat them in the district finals in a very competitive game, very physical game. But on the boys' side, Graham from the Southwest District is probably the second best team, and Wise Central gave Gate City a really close game, surprisingly close, in the Mount 7 final. Gate City only beat them 13 points, and it was 3 points and a half. But Gate City shot terribly from beyond the arc. They only made 3 3-pointers, and they usually make about 12. So if Gate City is shooting bad, then it's going to be close. But that doesn't happen too often. I'd say probably the second best team for the boys is Graham, and it's probably a tie between them and Wise Central. And the girls, both of them from the Mountain 7, are Wise Central's pretty good, and Ridgeview is probably the second best team.
Any of those teams you think can win it all in Virginia this year?
Wise Central is the defending state champion.
For the girls? Yeah. Can Gate City win it all with Mike McClung and those guys?
They'll have to get past Radford, who's probably the second best team in the state in single A. And last time I checked, Radford only has lost either one game or they're still undefeated. I can't remember. But they would more than likely either meet in the semifinals or the finals of the state tournament.
We're talking to Tanner Cook, talking sports. So let's go back to Major League Baseball. Rob Manfred says we've got to speed up the game, limit the number of visits to the mound. We're on a clock coming out of the bullpen or doing other ways to speed the game up. Good, bad, or indifferent? What do you think?
I really see no difference, honestly. How often do you have mound visits that aren't bullpen changes? I mean, it amounts up to maybe 2 or 3 a game, I think. It doesn't. It's almost negligible. You got to put a strict pitched clock on it. I think you give them only about 30-35 seconds, and that speeds the game up. That's the way it does in some little league games, and they have. But it's. I really see no difference. You gotta. And the number of warm-up pitches, I just don't. It's almost negligible. We'll see how it goes. I'm interested to see if they can get it around. Are they trying to get it around 2 hours?
Trying to get it down, well, yeah, inside of 3 for sure. So they're trying to get down to 2.5, I think, maybe 2. They're trying to get under the magic numbers.
Really slow start for them.
The magic numbers get under 3. I don't know why, but he says, Rob Manfred, the commissioner, says the millennials aren't going to sit there for 3 hours, the younger generation, and watch a ball game anymore. Just not going to do it.
Well,
so I don't know.
Baseball on television, to be honest, is not all that much fun. I'd much rather go to a game.
Being there in person?
Yeah, I mean, 3 hours at a game, you don't even know it's gone by hardly unless it's just egregiously slow. But on television, it's just like, oh, it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's coming pretty much.
We'll see. We'll see if it speeds it up. If he accomplishes that, which he's trying to do, that would be the commissioner of Major League Baseball, Rob Manfred. So Buck basketball last night had a chance to close it out and lost one at home 84-82. Didn't have Bradford, their big gun, but Coach Forbes signs a contract extension, and they go out and lose. He's now making effective immediately, I guess, bumped it up to $650,000 to State East Tennessee State through 2022-2023. So, but the Bucks can still close it out again coming up Friday night.
I think they can close it out on Friday against Wofford. It'll be a tough game, of course, but I think their magic number is still 2. So any combination of 2. You just don't want UNC Greensboro to win because then you have to win against Furman on Sunday. Bradford being out was big. It was really big. Obviously, it affected them. I think Citadel shot like 11 more free throws or something.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot, and I mean it's 11 more opportunities to make a bucket, and Citadel only beat them by 2. But surprisingly, ETSU was just right there, and I think Citadel made like 13 three-pointers or something.
Mm-hmm, they did.
It was a lot. I mean, they just shot lights out. And Bucks' only second loss at home all season, versus Troy back in like December or something.
Mm-hmm.
It was a real shocker, but I think they'll come back. Forbes will have them ready. And I really don't believe that he cares all that much where they're seeded in the Southern Conference tournament, just as long as they're the 1 or the 2 seed and they avoid someone like Wofford in the first round.
You got to win the tournament and get to the big dance, but you also, the Southern Conference has an automatic bid to the NIT, the winner of the Southern Conference tournament. So that's always in your hip pocket, but obviously they want to get to the big dance, March Madness. So we'll see. The tournament starts very, very soon, and they'll play again Friday night at Freedom Hall in Johnson City. And again, what are you guys working on? What are you going to be working on right now? You got a couple of days off for the regional. What are you writing? What are you working on?
Well, I'm going over to Wiles again today.
Are you really?
And I'm covering the Appalachian Athletic Conference boys and girls tournaments tomorrow at Kingsport. Milligan plays the 3:30 game for the boys and the 9:30 game for the girls. They play the nightcap. The men are the number 2 seed and the women are the number 6 seed. Men have won 6 straight. Women have won 3 straight. Both are playing really well right now, especially the men. They've vaulted from like I think it was 7th or something in the conference at the 1st of January, and then they're up to they finished the season at number 2, which was massive improvement. It just shocked me when I saw that they were number 2 in the conference.
Playing great basketball. At one point, we had Coach Robinson on. He was worried about just because they're just taking the top 8 now, the AAC, and he was sweating at one point of the season whether they'd even make the top 8. Now he goes in as a solid number 2 seed, and probably, since they're playing in Kingsport, maybe one of the favorites to win the whole cotton-picking thing. So should be a lot of fun. It starts again, as you said, tomorrow at Meadowview in Kingsport. The AAC, Appalachian Athletic Conference, boys and girls, or men's and women's tournaments, and that should be a barn burner again, as we said, which starts tomorrow in Kingsport. You hungry?
Oh, yeah, I'm hungry.
Great job. Get you back on there soon, all right?
Yes, sir.
How about the Yankees? What do you think?
I think they'll win. I think they will. But it's probably only going to be maybe 2 or 3 games at the end of the season, I think.
All right. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll go from Tanner Cook to Zeb, and Caleb are in the house with Sprint here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show live at Chick-Fil-A, show number 693 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue. Do you like pulled pork? At Phil's, the pulled pork is cooked low and slow. We cook it all night, but we serve it fast. Our pulled pork is hickory smoked, tender and juicy. We serve the pork either as a sandwich on a bun or platter style with garlic toast. And don't forget to try our pork wings. They taste like a cross between ham and our sweet ribs. It comes as a meal, as an add-on, or part of our meat sampler platters. Pulled pork and pork wings. Just 2 great reasons to stop by Phil's Dream Pit. Eastern Star exit off I-26, 349-6437. Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Chick-Fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
We're back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. There he is, my man Caleb Sparks in the house from Sprint. as we are tickled to death to have these guys on, one of our great sponsors here at the show, and they've got some great specials going on in the month of February, and kind of winding things down. The last day of the month will be next Wednesday, is that right? Next Thursday will be March the 1st. Let me double check, make sure I'm right. Hello, Caleb Sparks. How you doing?
Doing well, Tom. I do know that the last day of the month is the 28th. What actual day it is, I don't know.
It's next Wednesday, a week from today.
That's good. That's
good. We roll into March, and so.
Oh, hey, that just means we're another month away from spring, right?
You got that right.
I'm ready for it. We got some good weather going on. See, now I've got a crowd over here, and I've got this crowd over here.
You're just popular.
I like it. I like it, though. It does good.
Is that Zeb's girl?
Mm-hmm. It is.
That's Zeb's girl. Hey, Zeb's girl. We're live here again at Chick-Fil-A, The Crossings in North Johnson City. Don't forget, we'll be at Freddy's on Friday, and then Saturday, we're going to be at the Johnson City Mall broadcasting. We're going to be there. It's Kingsport Speedway Day, the Johnson City Mall. Over 30 cars, over 40 to 50 drivers going to be there, and so we're going to be there broadcasting live, hanging out with Bill Patrick and Karen Tone and the folks, and we'll be there again for a little while on Saturday. Looking forward to being there. All right, here we go. We got all kinds of goodies from Sprint. Let's start with the Unlimited Freedom, the 5 lines. Tell me about that for Sprint.
Tom, as always, we're still running our Unlimited 5-line promo for $100 a month. So you come in, you set up auto pay on your services, you get 5 lines, $100 a month. That's truly unlimited. That's unlimited talk, unlimited text, unlimited data. Hard to beat. Now, what's also kind of cool is that you can combine it too. Say you run a business, anything like that. You can also add up to X amount of E4s. And they're free phones. They're really good free phones. Just kind of it helps. It helps a lot of businesses, especially if they've got several employees, stuff like that. It helps reduce costs. Because that's the idea, is to reduce your costs, make as much profit as you can. So,
excuse me. Yep.
What we've also got going on is iPhone 10. If you activate a new line of service, $30 a month for the iPhone 10.
Now, what are the selling points of an iPhone 10? What's different from that than the...
One of the main differences is the facial recognition that they have. So you just basically have to look at the phone, unlocks itself. Camera's in a different position, a little bit better of a camera. Does have the A11 processor in it. Phenomenal phone. Really, really great phone. And at $30 a month, that's a deal, because normally it's $42. So,
saving about $12 a month.
Yeah, right off the bat.
Times 12 months is $144.
That's absolutely right.
We're talking to Caleb Sparks. We're live here. He's the Sprint. Again, the Sprint store here in Johnson City on North Rome Street in front of Longhorn Steakhouse. So the iPhone 10 and the Unlimited Freedom, and then you've got the iPhone 8. Lease one, get one.
iPhone 8, lease one, get one. So you can come in and get a combination of either one, 8 Plus, 8, 64 gig, 256 gig. Doesn't matter which one you come in and get, it still applies for the promo. So it doesn't matter. So you can come in and pretty much get 2 iPhone 8 Pluses for like $40 a month is what you end up paying. I mean, that's cheap.
Been moving them?
Oh yeah. We're staying out of stock of them mostly. We've been selling a lot of Samsungs.
We're getting ready to talk about that in a second. But the iPhone 10s, you've been running through those too, right?
Oh yeah. We've been running through all of them. We've been staying pretty steady. It's tax season. Everybody's out. Especially this warm weather. Gosh, this weather we've had this week is phenomenal. Gets everybody out of the house, even me. So that's a definite plus for sure. I need a little sunshine in my life.
Zeb, you think get Zeb out on the back deck on weather like this?
I don't know if we can get him out. We'll try to. I think he fries a little bit too much, so we'll try though.
So does he stay inside? Is he an indoor kind of guy?
No, he's not. He actually gets outdoors more than probably most of us. So.
Does he really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Good. Big Z, he's going to be with us. Z-Man going to join us here in a second. So, what else? You got the free LG pad. Tell me about that.
We got the LG G pad, which is what you've been using for quite some time. Tom, actually, you seem to really, really enjoy it. It seems to help you a whole lot. Plus, the great part about it is that wherever you have service with this or Sprint service, you have service with that tablet. So it doesn't matter. Road trip, anything like that, always set it to use as your GPS. Don't have to worry about it. That way your phone is free. Plus you can also watch Netflix in the back for the kids. Kind of works out real well.
There you go.
Especially after they've ate. That way you kind of want them to take a nap, put a good Disney movie on, fall right to sleep.
There you go. And those are free.
Mm-hmm.
And so those are available again at the Sprint store in North Johnson City.
He's going to take over the
He's going to take the rest of them? All right, he's going to do that. So since you haven't been on for a couple of weeks, so we've been moving a lot of? What, you personally?
A lot of iPhone, Samsung and iPhone have been pretty much a tie, so it's usually one or the other. Every now and again we sell a few LG, stuff like that. LG is still it's a great phone. It's just it seems that Apple and Samsung have the marketing, for it. So plus they've got some really great deals going on. Plus they're going to have the S9 is coming out really, really soon. So they're actually going to have that press release within the next couple of days and have the release date of the new S9 coming out, which is it's a phenomenal phone as well.
Talk about converting folks. You do it almost on a daily basis from other companies.
Yeah. Usually at least once a day. There's at least usually on a minimum 2 to 3 people a day that we switch over, and that's a slow day. Which, as you've been in the store several times and know, we don't have too many.
Ain't too many slow days.
We don't have too many slow days in that place. We're usually crammed out, so. We do apologize, folks, if you do come in there and we're busy. We will get to you as soon as we can. Mm-hmm. No big deal at all.
Yeah. But it's, I'm not coming there very much at all when it's not moving and hopping.
We usually know that whenever you're coming in, we just try to get your bill payment in the back. We're like, come on back, Tom. We'll get you in and out.
Yep. I pay my bill there. And, of course, we got the magic box that Ronnie and I are working through to give me even more coverage when we get ready to do baseball coming up next month. So
that's going to be a great thing, especially if you can get that to where it's up and running all the time. Plug that thing in, man, and you're good to go. It's
rocking and rolling.
It's going to be phenomenal.
It's a miniature cell tower. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, all right. And anybody that has any kind of problems with service anywhere around that, we can get you guys one of those too, and there's no charge for it whatsoever.
Yeah. It's called the Magic Box.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And so those are available, and I know Ronnie's trying to get more into the store.
Yep, we're trying to get a few more so that way, some of the areas that we cover, stuff like that, businesses, stuff like that, we're trying to expand, and we're trying to make the Tri-Cities as happy as we can.
There you go.
It's hard, but we're trying to do what we can.
And make me happy, Camper. I know that.
We always try, anyways.
Yeah, I know you do. You guys do a great job. Are you hungry?
Oh, as always. I can always eat, Tom.
There you go. All right. A phenomenal job. Thank you, my friend, for coming by.
No problem, Tom. Pleasure as always.
Oh, yeah. Class act. We're going to pass the microphone. We're going to put that screen up right there and tell you that we're going to be tomorrow at Champion Chevrolet in the Bristol Motor Mile in Johnson City. And we're going to be there broadcasting live tomorrow. Got a full slate of guests. And then coming up on Friday, we will be live at we're going to be at Freddy's on Friday. Can't wait. And then on Monday, we'll take our traveling show to Bristol Motor Speedway in the lobby of the Bruton Smith building. We're not that far away from going racing at Bristol Motor Speedway. And so we're, 53 days out from the Food City 500. There's my man Zeb Kopus with Sprint. Good afternoon, my good friend. How are you?
Good. How are you, Tom?
I'm loving life. So we're going to pick up where he left off, and let's talk about leasing the Moto Z-Force. What is a Moto Z-Force?
Moto Z-Force is a very high-end Motorola Android phone. Very thin. What's really cool about it is they make these little attachments that go in the back. You got a Bluetooth speaker, you got an extended battery, you got a projector, so you can project images on the wall, YouTube videos, whatever. Right now, if you lease one, upgrades or new lines of service, it's $11 a month, and you get a free Amazon Alexa with it. So that's kind of cool.
And what is the Alexa for folks out there who have no clue what that is?
The Alexa is that little dot. It's Amazon's little, I don't know, it's a personal assistant, whatever you want to call it.
Is that the one you ask questions and answers you?
Yeah, you can say, Alexa, play Metallica, so it'll start playing the song for you. Or you can have it, you can order stuff from Amazon through that device. You can do all kinds of stuff. You've got a smart home, you got some of them smart light bulbs. You can tell her to turn the lights on, turn the lights off, all kinds of stuff.
Alexa, turn out the lights. Beep, lights are out.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Alexa, flip on Leonard Skinner. Beep, Leonard Skinner's on.
That's exactly what happens.
So you get that as part of this deal?
You do. You get it for free. Now that promotion, the Amazon Alexa is through Motorola. It's not through Sprint, but that's what they've got going on right now. And then the phone is on a great savings. I believe the phone is normally $31 a month, and it's $11 right now. So it's a killer deal.
Why Sprint? You got all these other competition out there, competitive phone companies.
Best value, man. Best value in wireless. Can't beat it.
There you go. I would agree. Again, the Magic Box. Ronnie and I are working through the Magic Box, and that's going to be something really cool. When we get it nailed down, I can take it out with me and do ball games and really give myself extra coverage.
Yeah, the Magic Box is really nice because say you're in an area that doesn't have the best data speed. What it does is it will improve upon that. So it will take the data speed and then give you a better signal and improve the speed, usually by 5 or 10 fold. So we've got that, and then we've also got the Galaxy promotions, which we've got the S8, the S8 Active, and the Note 8. The S8 is $8 a month, which is phenomenal savings. You can't beat that. Then the Active, for those of you out there that are, more hard on the phones than others, you like to hike or swim or take your phone with you wherever you go. It's on sale for $12 a month, which is still a really good deal. And then the Note 8 is $18 a month. See that guy walking over there?
Mm-hmm.
He's a Sprint customer.
I didn't know that.
Because I helped him out.
We helped him out. Okay.
Yeah,
What is a Note 8?
Galaxy Note 8, that's Samsung's flagship device right now. It's got the S Pen, so you can take your notes. It's got the better camera and the better battery life out of the 3 phones. But that's their big daddy right now.
Warm weather is obviously here, and we hope it's going to stay here. So that means folks are going to be going to the lake, going to the pool. What do you have at the Sprint store as far as accessories for waterproofing phones and different things?
Be honest with you, most of the phones now, with the exception of that Motorola phone, are water resistant already. So there's not really a lot that you need to do to the phones for that. But we've got some waterproof Bluetooth speakers, so you can take those with you if you go to the pool or something, or you're rafting down the river and you want to jam out. Those are waterproof, so you can listen to those while you're in the water and not have to worry about it getting damaged.
And those are available at the Sprint store.
They are, and if you mention Tom's show today, any accessories we have in the store will discount 25% off for you. So just mention the show and we'll give you that discount.
Yeah, so you've heard the show and you go into the Sprint store. It's got to be the store, North Roan Street here in Johnson City. They're in front of Longhorn Steakhouse, and you go and say, hey, I heard these guys talking about the show, and you get whatever accessories you have, and you get 25% off. What are some of the accessories?
We've got Bluetooth speakers, we've got Beats headsets, we've got several different types of Beats, we've got car chargers. One of the biggest sellers is we've got those portable battery banks that you can take with you. Those things, we've got some of those will charge your phone 2 times, and some of them will charge your phone 20 times. So if you're going on, say, a camping trip, that'd probably be a good thing to take with you so your phone doesn't die. Of course, I guess if you're camping, you shouldn't be on your phone anyways, but you never know.
We may need it. May see a bear.
That's right.
Yeah. Or a wolf or something. Yeah. Or Caleb jump out behind the tree and scare you, and you gotta call 911 or something, right? Yeah. Caleb's not even looking up. He's eating lunch over behind us, and he's hammering it.
Look at him. He got his milkshake and everything.
He got him a shake. What kind of shake you get, dog? Strawberry shake. What kind of sandwich? Grill Club. There you go. Some waffle fries. What are you gonna get, Big Daddy?
I ain't decided yet, man. I don't know.
All right. We'll go through Judy's line and rock out. So,
That's right.
What are the hours now at Sprint store?
Hours Monday through Saturday are 10 to 8, and then Sunday has changed now. It's 12 to 6.
12 to 6.
We are open until 6 now on Sunday. That's for all locations in the Tri-Cities. So everybody has the same hours. So if you need anything, you can come see us. But hopefully you come to Johnson City. That's where we tailor the experience to you. So
I like it. We tailor the experience. Old Zeb, he don't miss a trick. He's a good one.
That's right.
So, are you a baseball guy?
No.
What sport do you like?
I'm more of a football guy.
Football?
Yeah.
College or pro?
College.
College?
I like it because they're out there trying to get that money. They ain't got it yet.
There you go. Good point. Who's your favorite college team?
Man, that's a tough one. I don't know. I like all the SEC teams. I mean, if I had to, my diehard fan, whether they win or lose, it's going to be the Vols.
Yeah, there you go.
But I do like the Dogs from Georgia as well. They're pretty good. Not a fan of the Alabama though.
Oh, you're not.
No, I ain't on that tide. We ain't rolling.
You ain't rolling no tide over there. I got you. But you can hunker down dogs. You like them Georgia Bulldogs.
That's right.
And the big orange. All right.
Yeah.
Well, go get yourself something to eat. Again, these specials are good till further notice, right?
Yep, absolutely. Yep,
Yeah.
till further notice.
Now, Sprint says thanks this Saturday.
Well, I haven't heard anything about that, but Caleb said it is, so we're going to go with it. Right, Caleb? I've not heard anything about that. We'll get back with you on that tomorrow.
So, since last Wednesday, what out of all these specials you've been moving a lot of?
Man, to be honest with you, mostly iPhone. Mostly iPhone.
iPhone 10s?
Yeah, we've had a few Samsungs. I sold a few of those S8 Actives. I hadn't seen those yet. We had a lady come in and she bought a couple of them. She likes them really well. It's kind of like a Galaxy that has a case built in the phone already. It's kind of crazy, but it's cool. We've sold some of those. Mostly iPhones for me though. Not too many of the 10s. Mostly it's the iPhone 8. Lease one, get one. That's what a lot of people's been doing. Just because you get a free phone, it's the best deal.
So if you lease 3, you get 3, right? For every one you get, you...
No, yes. So if you lease 3, you get 3. So there'll be 6 total. Yeah.
Sure. So it's lease one, get one. Sprint, North Rome Street, Johnson City. Go get something to eat, dog.
All right, brother.
He the man. See you next Wednesday.
See you, buddy.
You got a standing invitation here every Wednesday.
That's right.
Till we go to Phil's.
Till we go to Phil's.
Phil's coming up in March. We'll be there in Phil's in March. So, yes, we will. It said, yes, we will. There you go. That's going to do it from here. Again, we want to say thanks to our guest today. As we wrap up show number 693. Danny Good, Athletic Director Daniel Boone, was with us today. Also, Greg Salyer talking Major League Baseball. Tanner Cook from the Johnson City Press. And Caleb Sparks and Zeb Kopis, of course, with us today from the great folks at Sprint. Love talking about Sprint here again on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. So we want to, again, get back on camera, sign off on this puppy, and again tell you the big news today, over and above the fact that it's my daughter's birthday. Happy birthday to my baby. And so over and above that, we want to say, again, if you missed it earlier, that Dr. Billy Graham stepped into heaven earlier today at the age of 99 years old, which is a big loss for us and a big gain, of course, for the folks that are with him now in heaven. So anyway, we'll talk more about that tomorrow. Out of time, we sincerely thank you for yours. Until we greet you tomorrow from Champion Chevrolet on the Bristol Motor Mile, Johnson City, for Connie Larimer and Tim Birchfield and all the folks here at Chick-fil-A, this is Tom Taylor telling you, as always, win or lose, be a good sport. See you tomorrow from Champion Chevrolet. So long, everybody.